Dead Time Chronicles, Frozen Shadows, Chapter 2, read by the author, Jason Wilcox, and his wife, Thaen Saelee. Caden reclined in his chair, the fire crackling with subdued ease. It was his first chance to relax after work. A year had passed since his journey into stop time, yet the memory still seared through him like a scar. The containment sphere had failed him. His newly developed Dead Time suit was supposed to be the answer. Direct contact with the material, no distortions, safe passage. But the prototypes refused to cooperate, and every flaw gnawed at him. Earlier that afternoon, Robert had tried to force the issue, pushing to put a human into one of the unfinished suits. Caden had resisted, hard. The fight ended with Robert ordering him home, a difficult order to follow, but ultimately he complied. Across the room, Bridget stirred a pot of stew, a few loose strands of auburn hair falling across her face. She brushed them aside absently, humming a melody that carried him to their early days. The scent of herbs filled the room, mingling with the smoke. Mags, their golden retriever, sprawled near the hearth. Caden envied the dog's peace. Bridget said with a half-smile,
"You're getting pretty good at this normal life thing."
He let out a low laugh, shaking his head. "You say that like it surprises you,"
"Oh, it definitely does,"
she said, lifting the spoon from the stew with mock seriousness.
"I distinctly remember you nearly burning the kitchen down making toast."
Caden laughed despite himself. "That was one time."
"One memorable time,"
she pressed, dropping onto the couch beside him and nudging his shoulder.
"Face it, you're still a disaster in the kitchen."
"True," he admitted, nudging her back playfully. "Luckily, I have you to save me." Her smile softened as she leaned into him.
"Always."
For a while, nothing but the pop of the logs and the stew simmer comforted the room. Caden let himself believe this was enough.
"I could get used to nights like this,"
Bridget murmured. A faint crease formed between her brows, and Caden caught it. Fragile proof she feared their peace might not last. He squeezed her hand gently. "I'm trying, and I'm getting better, thanks to you." She looked at him.
"You seem exhausted."
She shrugged, forcing a grin. "Maybe a little, but I'll be fine."
"Will you, though?"
she asked.
"You don't have to pretend for me, Caden."
His shoulders slumped, tension leaking out in a sigh. I know. I hate bringing all of this home."
"Where else would it take you?"
she said, leaning her head against his shoulder.
"We're in this together, remember?"
He faced her, catching the steadiness. It burned with warmth and unwavering strength. "I remember," he whispered, then almost against his will. "But sometimes I worry
"What?"
that someday it might all become too much, too dangerous, that I'll lose this." Her hand tightened around his.
"You're stuck with me. Besides,
She added.
who else is going to make sure you don't set the house on fire?"
He savored the closeness. Mags yipped in his sleep, startling them both. Bridget giggled, leaning toward the dog.
"Get that squirrel, buddy."
Caden shook his head with a smile. "Do you think he ever catches them?"
"Oh, absolutely. He's a fierce predator."
Very intimidating, Caden agreed. They leaned against each other, the warmth of the fire wrapping around them.
"It's like this.
Bridget said softly, resting her hand over his heart.
Preferably without interruptions."
He wrapped his arm around her. "Sounds perfect. Maybe when this project is finally over." He'd barely finished speaking when his phone rang. His stomach sank as he reached for the phone. It's probably nothing,"
"It's never nothing."
Bridget murmured. Matt's name flashed across the screen, one of his top field operatives and a scientist at the Dead Time Project, loyal to the SDS and part of his own team. Caden answered at once. "Matt, what's going on?" "I have to make this quick. They could be listening," his friendly rattled off. "What? Who could?" "No time, just listen," Matt barreled on. "Robert sent Steven into stop time after he dismissed the team. The Dead Time suit wasn't ready. Steven vanished, then reappeared convulsing, screaming as if being torn apart. Shortly after, he disappeared again. They're trying to pull him out, but it might already be too late." "Are you sure?" Doubt edged the question. "I've seen the orders," Matt said grimly. "My source confirmed it, but there's more. SDS is compromised, Caden. Corrupt. Far worse than you realize. I've got proof." Shock chilled him. "Corrupt? How do you know?" "Not over the phone. I'll show you when it's safe. Get to the lab now." The line went dead. Caden stood frozen, clutching his phone, stunned.
"What happened?"
Bridget asked cautiously. "Something terrible." He took in his surroundings. The stew, Mags, Bridget, the fragile peace he was about to leave behind. I have to go. Her shoulders sagged, and she covered it quickly with a brave nod.
I figured you might say that.
I'm sorry. He cupped her face. I wish I could stay.
I know.
She leaned into his hands.
Promise you'll be safe.
I promise. He pressed his forehead to hers, holding still for one stolen minute before forcing himself away.
Caden?
She called as he reached the door. He looked back.
I love you.
She said, worried but fierce. I love you too. The cold night air struck him as he went outside. The door swung shut behind him.